and Dr. Wiggy here from Raise Them Well, and we just wanted to share with you all about our brand new prenatal vitamin. It's brand new on the market, and we're really excited to share it with you. And since prenatals are a little bit more complicated than some of the other products that we have out there, we wanted to talk a little bit more about why we made it and some of the unique benefits of our Raise Them Well prenatal vitamins.
Yeah, and that's true. So prenatal vitamins, again, most people, they just go and they grab something off the shelf, maybe something that looks pretty or looks like a good prenatal vitamin. They say that's probably good enough, because most of the times doctors are not going to recommend a specific brand, so they'll just say, go make sure you're taking a prenatal vitamin. And I think that's kind of what you even saw, with this last pregnancy.
Yeah, it's very overwhelming.
There's not a lot of information.
Options.
Right?
Yeah.
There's not a lot of information that's been given to pregnant women. So what I did, and did this mostly because I wanted to make sure that we were giving as good of nutrition as possible for our baby, not only during pregnancy but also for breastfeeding, is I wanted to make sure that the prenatal vitamin that we developed had all the necessary ingredients for not only a healthy mom but also for a healthy baby. Because the more research that we're finding that is coming out just kind of day by day is that the environment in the womb is so critically important for the baby's development, again, just for a healthy baby. But we're actually finding out that it's so important also for their childhood and even into adulthood. So
Absolutely.
You want to make sure that you're doing everything you possibly can to make sure that that baby is as healthy as possible. Of course, that includes nutrition and exercise and all those types of things, but a high quality prenatal vitamin is also at the top of that list.
Sure.
And what we found when we're looking at, again, 99.9% of the prenatal vitamins out there is that they were lacking some key nutrients that are important for mom but also are also important for a baby. And those 4 key nutrients that we made sure to include in our prenatal vitamin: first one is methyl folate, second is methyl B12 or methylcobalamin, the third is glutathione, and the fourth is vitamin K2. And I can talk a little bit about all those. Did you have anything else you wanted to add before we talk about the development?
No.
Okay.
You keep going.
Well, I'll just keep on rambling here. So first ingredient is methyl folate. So everyone has heard of the importance of folic acid during pregnancy. That's really important for healthy nervous system and neural tube development for the baby. But what we're finding out is that there's actually a significant percentage of the population that is not able to metabolize folic acid well, just a regular folic acid. And those people, they have a mutation in a gene called the MTHFR gene. And if you have a mutation in that gene, you can't convert the folic acid that you get in a normal prenatal vitamin, you can't convert it into the active form, methyl folate. And if you can't convert it into the active form, you're not able to use it. And so you're at the same risk of not taking folic acid at all.
And I think it's estimated at about 40% of
Yeah.
women.
Yeah, again, the numbers kind of differ. There's anywhere from 35 to 47% is kind of what the statistics show. But that's a significant number of people. Almost half of women should probably be taking a prenatal vitamin that has methyl folate, not folic acid. So that's number one. Number two is related to it. That's methyl B12 or methylcobalamin. And the thing that we found with B12, again, so important for healthy nervous system, immune system, muscle development, so important for mom and for baby. But what we find is that almost all the B12 that's in prenatal vitamins is cyanocobalamin or cyano B12. And the cyano part is the part that I have trouble with, because that is actually a cyanide molecule bound to B12. Yes, there really hasn't been any proven risk of taking cyano B12 or cyanocobalamin, but why would you want to be taking a B12 bound to a cyanide molecule, especially during pregnancy when we're dealing with all these toxins already? So that's one of the
Can you talk a little bit about what cyanide is?
Well, most people probably have heard of cyanide. If you haven't, it is a poison. That's really what it is. Cyanide gas, cyanide poison. So yeah, you don't want to be, of course, exposing yourself to cyanide directly. And like I said, the cyanocobalamin has not been proven to be harmful or unhealthy. But again, I just think about it from a practical standpoint. Why would you take something that, again, has potential toxicity when you can get something that is a lot cleaner and also probably more bioavailable and more of an active form, or more of a natural form of B12? And that form that we use is methylcobalamin or methyl B12. Just like methyl folate is the active form of folic acid, methyl B12 is the active or the natural form of B12. And then the third key ingredient, again, this one I have not found another prenatal vitamin that has this in it, and that is vitamin K2. Most of them have vitamin K1, which is what you get with like eating leafy greens or eating vegetables, which again is very important. But vitamin K2 is critically important for baby's bone and teeth development primarily. You know, this was, a lot of research was done on this through the Weston A. Price Foundation. They used to call this nutrient nutrient X, because it was the missing ingredient that they couldn't figure out what was missing that helped with proper jaw development and proper teeth development in these indigenous cultures that either got K2 or they did not get it. And what they ended up finding out was that it was K2 was that secret ingredient that was necessary for proper teeth. You know, so they didn't have crooked teeth, and for proper jaw and just mouth formation, so they didn't have crowded and crooked teeth, and also they also had stronger bones. So again, vitamin K2. Again, I don't know why other prenatal vitamins don't have it in there. It's so important. So we make sure we put K2 and not K1, because especially if you're eating leafy greens, you're going to get K1, so we want to make sure we're using K2. And then last but not least is glutathione. Again, so important, especially in the toxic world that we live in. Glutathione is the primary detoxification molecule that our body naturally produces, and that's what our body produces to go float around and to bind to toxins, and so we can eliminate those toxins. But a lot of times, again, we are exposed to so many different toxins that our body's glutathione system is kind of overloaded, and we're not able to keep up with that demand. You know, there was a study done, I can't remember how many years ago, but it was done actually on the cord blood of babies, and they were testing it for different toxins, for different pesticides and plasticizers and other type of toxins that are so ubiquitous in the environment now. And I think that they averaged like 300 different toxins, and like out of like different pesticides, they identified like every single one in the cord blood. So it's almost impossible to completely avoid exposure to toxins. So what we want to do is we want to enhance the mom's ability to help get rid of those extra toxins. And so we actually include extra glutathione in the prenatal vitamin as well. So again, it can float around, bind to those toxins, so it doesn't get into the cord blood, doesn't get to the placenta, doesn't get to the baby. So again, very important for a prenatal vitamin as well. So.
And a couple of practical things about the prenatal that were important to me is, first of all, I did not want to take 6 capsules per day. I mean, it gets ridiculous after a while. And then you realize that, oh, I have all these pills, but this is actually only good for like 20 days because I'm taking 6 pills a day. And then on top of that, we wanted them to not smell, that terrible vitamin-y smell. Yeah. I don't even know how to describe that.
I can't take most vitamins because they smell
and we didn't want them to taste gross either, because I don't know about you, but especially in the first trimester, like I cannot handle that. So we wanted to make sure that it was just a 2 capsule dose, and that they are scent free and tasteless. And that's one of my favorite parts so far about taking them too, is that.
Yeah, and something just that we wanted to make it a little bit more palatable. Again, so we do want to keep the smell down and the taste basically neutral, but we did also include ginger too.
Yes.
Ginger, especially with the pregnancy, or with the nausea and the sickness that goes along with it, that has been shown to also help. So we do include ginger in there as well.
Absolutely. And if you're in your first trimester, I'm so very sorry. It's so hard, and you'll get through it.
It's rough. You will. It's worth it.
Yes, it is. So, and that's basically it. We would have our 2.5-week-old with us, but he's asleep right now, and we weren't going to get him up for this. So
yeah, we'll let him sleep.
We'll show you him another time. But thank you so much for joining us. If you have questions, feel free to email us or message us through social media. We're happy to answer as well as we can. Hope that this was informative for you, and that you'll give our prenatals a try.